be an exciting time in the city of New Orleans, and we want you to be a part of it. If you have a book, an event, or a business that you would like to promote right here on Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, contact us at www.mtwimagesolutions.com or info@mtwimagesolutions.com. See you there. New year, new show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there. The year 2019 is going to be an exciting time in the city of New Orleans, and we want you to be a part. Everybody, it's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I am back with a new episode of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And you know what? I'm still rolling with the crew of Lit. Yes. So we have two new authors who are going to be featured at the crew of Lit. And if you have not been watching the show all month, first of all, what's wrong with you? You need to be watching the show. And second of all, you need to go ahead and go to Eventbrite and get your tickets for the Crew of Lit. It's going to take place at the Algiers Auditorium on Saturday at noon. And you really want to be a part of this event. There are going to be so many authors there. They're going to have workshops. There's going to be music. It's going to be a whole party atmosphere. And then for those of you who are saying you can't find anything to do in New Orleans, first of all, how do you not find something to do in New Orleans? Okay, but maybe you're under 21 and you can't go to the bars and the clubs. You can definitely go to the Crew of Lit and feed your mind, feed your intellect, and then get to know some really cool authors. So tonight we're going to meet two of those authors. We've met four of the authors the past couple of weeks, but tonight we're going to meet two more authors, and we're going to start with author Terence Pollard. Terence is a motivational speaker. He's the author of at least 3 books. He is a very positive person. He is a military veteran, and he's all about pouring into our youth. So he's somebody who I definitely was looking forward to meeting. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring on Mr. Terence Pollard. Terence, are you there?
Yes, I am. And good evening.
And good evening to you. How's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going wonderful over here in Florida.
Is it raining there? Because it started sprinkling a little bit here.
No. This is the Sunshine State. All we have now is just beautiful sunshine.
Okay, you can play like that if you want to, but I have been walking in Disney World, and they said, hey, y'all, it's about to rain, and it started raining. So don't act like it doesn't rain in the Sunshine State.
Well, I guess we have our ups and downs, and we're known as a hurricane state also. So, but right now it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful evening here in Florida.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. And you know, being in Louisiana, we know a bit about hurricanes ourselves. So, we're not even going to speak that into existence. We're going to leave that alone, and we're going to pray that this year will be a very non-existent hurricane season.
Yes.
All right. So I was just mentioning how you are a motivational speaker and you're also a military veteran.
Yes, ma'am. I did 23 years of military service and a combat veteran, and plus I've been doing motivational speaking for some time now. I hate to put a time on it because then they'll try to figure out the age to go with that. But I love speaking to the young people. I love it, and I love it.
Well, what got you started in talking with young people? Is this something you did while you were still in the military? What service were you in, by the way?
I was I guess I'm still programmed Army, the best service ever. But to answer your question, I had a desire when I was serving to reach back out to the youth because I'd seen the direction that most kids were going down, and I wanted to offer them something positive that could help perhaps change the direction that it was going and give them some positive insight.
Beautiful, beautiful. So now let's talk through this. So you were probably still in the military when you started doing this, still a soldier. I'm a soldier as well. You're always going to be a soldier at heart. Now let's think about this first time you decided that you wanted to talk to kids. Did people think that you were crazy for wanting to do something like this?
I had just left the Persian Gulf. I was in Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm. And while I was stationed over there, and when you're in a combat situation, you think about a lot of things that you should have, could have, would have done. And so once I got back to the United States, I was determined to make a difference in young people's lives. And so, therefore, my motivation was I want to go around and just start reaching out to kids, help create programs, help create camps, or do whatever I can do to make an impact on their lives.
So what do you normally talk to them about?
Well, normally, overcoming obstacles, goal setting. Why is it important to have a plan and have a backup plan? And just because you get to like an obstacle or get to a hiccup in your life, you got to have a backup plan. You got to have that motivation to keep going, keep pushing forward until you reach your mission. Regardless of what it is that you're trying to accomplish in life, you can do it. Beautiful. And that's what I try to really encourage the young people to do.
Beautiful.
Is go for it.
We're talking to author Terence Pollard, who is an Army veteran. He's a motivational speaker, and he's also an author. So talk to me about some of these books that you've written. And are they all dedicated to our youth?
Well, actually, Haven't You Been Broken Yet? It's about life, trials, and tribulations, about what do you do when life hits you on the blind side or give you a bad shot, a gut shot or something, because most people want to give up. Yes. And so what I try to do in those books and these books is give you something to really hold on to, some information where it's time-tested and it's pretty much this situation, it'll give you some stuff that if you really apply the information to your life, you can make a difference in your life moving forward.
All right, so let's start with the first book. I called them earlier the broken books because you're actually talking about what exactly are you talking about? Are you talking about broken spirits? Are you talking about broken lives? Are you talking about broken families? What exactly are you addressing?
I am addressing all the above.
Okay.
And I'm just going to give it to you like this. Okay, let's take it from the position of being a broken spirit or in a broken relationship. Most of the times, and one of the chapters is called Broken, Cracked, Damaged. And basically what I'm doing, I take you down this street and help you to look at your life introspectively. What's going on with your life? Why are you there? What can you do from there to move forward? Because most people, they get in a situation, they get stuck, they get broken and all this stuff, they don't know what to do. So what I do, I give you some information. I give what I call takeaways at the end of the chapter, that if you apply this information to your life, you can come up out of the situation that you're in. Let me bring it home for you. At one point in 2000, 2002, 2003, I created a business, and it went up. I was doing 6 figures a year. Had it all. Life was good. Everything was going wonderful. And I had a blind side. I lost everything to being homeless. So therefore, I had to have a plan. So that plan included step by step, how do I get from where I am, being homeless, to getting back on my feet and getting my business up and moving and start my life all over again. So I share those steps in the book, Have You Been Broken Yet?
Now, I do want to ask because sometimes when we see these stories, for instance, the pursuit of happiness, we think that all we need is this great idea and we're going to make it. Or we think that as long as we believe we're going to get out of our situation. But I'm quite sure that there was some work and there were some steps that you had to put in order for you to get out of the situation that you were in.
That's correct. And I always tell people when I'm out on the speaking circuit is that success comes only before work in the dictionary. Okay, so therefore, you have to work every single day. You have to have a plan. You have to continue to work hard at whatever it is that you are working towards. Whatever that goal is, every single day, you have to speak to it. You have to work towards. You got to have faith, and you got to have works. Faith without works are dead. So therefore, you got to continue every single day work towards that goal.
Absolutely. Now, do you talk to them about some of those steps that they can take and how they can get started now? Because I know many times when we're in these situations, we don't think that it's going to be simple. We think it's going to take this grand gesture in order to get out of it.
That's correct. And the thing is, the book, Have You Been Broken Yet, is short stories. So the short stories is, I would say, it's like 2 pages, 2.5 pages, and you at the end. But in that 2.5 page, I'm going to give you a problem, I'm going to give you a solution, and I'm going to give you steps that you can apply to your situation that you can make tangible, measurable steps to success.
Wonderful.
And also, let me add this also, let me throw this in there as a caveat.
Okay.
Is the fact that I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. Because the hardest thing that I ever had to overcome, well, the second hardest thing, and hopefully I get a chance to cover this, is the fact that when you are homeless, when you don't have anywhere to go, I had to use my military bearings. I had to use everything I learned in the military. I had to use everything what I learned in life to get back on my feet again.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's put a pin.
Yes, it was.
Let's go ahead and put a pin right there. Let's put a pin right there. I'd like to come back so you can explore that a bit more. But we do have to take a quick commercial break. So stay right there, Terence, and I want you guys to stay right there. We're going to take this quick commercial break, and we will be right back talking with author and motivational speaker, Army veteran, Terence Pollard. So what I want you to do is don't keep this information for yourself. I want you to like, share, comment, or you can call in and subscribe because this is about to be a heck of a conversation and I don't want you to miss it. So stay right there. We'll be right back. It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See
Well, what's up, everybody? This is boy Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayoU15.
Listen, this your boy Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFredJones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with G Sports. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, AKG, and on Twitter, G_paid in full 08.
Pay me the money! money.
New year, new show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons. And we're back. This is your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and you are watching Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And we are having a great conversation with author, motivational speaker, and Army veteran, Mr. Terence Pollard. And he was just talking about how he gives many tips for getting out of our current situations and being able to reach our goals. And he was just talking about how he had to lean on his Army experience when he was trying to get himself out of the situation that he was in. So we were just about to jump into that conversation. So, Terence, are you there? Okay, I think Terence is still muted. So we're going to give him a chance to get off of mute so he can tell us about his books. He has one book called Have You Been Broken Yet? And the second book is called Are You Still Broken? And this is about young people. It's actually a collection of short stories, and it talks about how he was able to pull himself out of his current situation. He's an Army veteran, but at one time he was actually homeless, and he was able to get out of that situation and then move further. So now he wants to give some of those same tips that helped him out of those situations and pass them on to young people who may be dealing with their own stresses. So hopefully Terence will be coming back on any second now.
Okay.
There he is. So you were just talking about how you had to lean on your military experience to get out of your current your situation. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. Well, my basic training was Fort Knox, Kentucky, which they call it Hard Knocks. And basically, going through Fort Knox, it really instilled a discipline in me that I had to pull down into once I lost everything, all the way to being homeless. And so therefore, it was like the military in me stood up, regardless of how low I got or whatever happened to me. I just kept pushing forward and pulling up the military that was instilled in me. And the one thing that I suggest to anyone is, regardless of if you're in the military, if you're not in the military, if you never thought about the military, that regardless of whatever hand of life serves you, that you can get up and you can brush yourself off and you can move forward and you can live your best life.
All right. So now, was this something that you just had to think about yourself, or did you have people in your life who kind of reminded you of that?
I had a conversation with myself.
Okay, and sometimes we need to do
regardless
that.
of how bad things are, you're a soldier.
Yes.
You built for this. And so I had to continue to remind myself, I don't care what I've been told, whatever, all those cadences, everything, I had to remind myself of what was instilled in me.
Absolutely.
And so therefore, being a soldier, you learn how to march and all this stuff. Okay, we taught cadence and all this stuff. However, it was there came the time that I had to live what I was marching, what I was preaching and teaching and being a leader, coming up through the ranks in the military. When I was homeless and I had to live that stuff.
So when did you decide to go from motivational speaker to author? When did you put all of the things that you were telling these young people into a book?
The first book I actually authored was in 1999, and that book was entitled "Are You the Problem or the Solution?"
Come on.
And
like
basically, what happened, my mom passed, so I needed a way to get my feelings out in a book in a positive way, and so that gave me the outlet what I needed. And so then, in 2000, a few years later, I was like, you know what? I need to start writing these books and just coming up with ideas and just sharing some information that could perhaps change someone's life. And so that's what kind of steered me in that direction.
Have you had a
Because
young person?
I love writing. I love sharing my thoughts. But but once I did "Are You the Problem or the Solution?" and the response that I got from that book, and then I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I came up with "Haven't Been Broken Yet," and that kind of opened up the gateway.
Have you had a young person come back to you and tell you how your books has affected them?
Yes, I have. I hear it all the time. And the thing about it is, have you been broken yet? And I go back to when I first released the book. I went to a shelter and I passed out some books. I did a little presentation, but I passed out the books. I said, hey, this is what I want you to do. I want you to read this book, and you're going to see yourself in here somewhere. And I'm coming back in 30 days. And in 30 days, I had a conversation with them again, and the book actually changed their lives. It's not just for young people, but it's for people. It cuts across all generations, because in that book, I use a lot of personal experience, and I write the chapters and write the stories that people can really relate to, that really grab at your heart and tug at your heart, and really make you really think about what it is that you're doing. How do you get to the next step?
That's beautiful. And I want to congratulate you, because when you can write something and you write from the heart and you wind up touching somebody else's heart, then you've succeeded. Sometimes it's not always about having 1 million book sales, but it's about those thousands of lives or those hundreds of lives that you can touch through your work. And it sounds like you set out to do that and you were able to accomplish that.
Yes. And I'm thankful. And that having that platform to go around and just, put this information out there that this book can change your life. And most people who read the books, I've had pastors who use it for youth groups. I've had pastors who use it for the dissertation. I've had a lot of different segments of the population to read the book, and it made such a powerful impact and forced them to make changes in their lives. And they call it a small book, but it has a very powerful punch.
It's a small book. How long are your books?
Well, Have You Been Broken Yet is only like 100 pages.
So somebody can actually read this book in one sitting.
There you go. And that's the idea, that's the concept. And forced them to make. I did an interview last month. And when I was in college, I hated literature. I don't know about you because you're a doctor. Okay, I really hated literature and humanities. So from that, I said, I don't want to sit there and read all day. I want something. Give me the meat of it so I can grab hold to it and I can be done with it.
Yes.
So that's why Have You Been Broken? It's like 100 pages. And Are You Still Broken? I think it's like 125 pages. But they're short stories and very powerful messages packed within them.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I think that's the good part about it, is when you can put that much of yourself into a book and then you make it short enough to where the person who's not that average reader, because there are some people who want to dive into 100-page books, 200-page books, or 500-page books. But there are some people who want something short that they can read and then still, quote unquote, go on with their lives. And so when you can write a book like that, that's going to catch the people who wouldn't normally pick up a book, then you're doing something.
There you go, Dr. Lawson. You summed it up for me.
I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can, you know.
That's the goal. The goal was to reach people where they are, to encourage them to read a little bit, and then push them higher to want to read more. And
Absolutely. So are those the people you're going to be looking for when you get to the Crew of Lit on Saturday?
I'm looking for anybody who would come over to the table and just say hello and let's just have a good time. I'm looking so forward to coming to New Orleans. I want to get down there and try some of the Cajun food. I want the full experience.
Okay, now look, don't get that full experience, and then you be late for the Crew of Lit, and then now I have Janine and Diana W on me because I let you go do your thing out in the French Quarter. You just remember you there for a job.
Okay.
Okay, now see.
Hey, don't pull a rank on me. Don't pull a rank on me. But I'm not going to get the full experience. What about half the experience? What about that?
Okay, halfway experience, but you know, I want you to come out and have a good time. I mean, I keep telling them, I say it every week, I love the name of this event, Crew of Lit. I mean, it's going to be lit, it's a party, but it's all about books. So I'm glad that you're coming. I hope this isn't your first time to New Orleans.
No. I've been there before, but I just want to enjoy this right here, and it definitely won't be my last time.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, because I may have to invite you back next year for the Black History Month Literary Weekend, which takes place the last weekend in February. I might need you back here for that.
Yes, by all means. Pull rank on me. I'll be right here. I'll be right there front and center.
So, Terence, where can people find your books?
Well, they can go to my website, and that's www.terencepollard.org. And also it's on Amazon, but my preference is if you go to my website, and it's a lot of information there, and you can get all three books there if you would like.
Okay,
so again, it's terencepollard.org.
If they order the book from your website, will they get a signed copy?
Yes.
All right. You know, because people like signed copies of books these days.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm all for it.
Okay, so you guys, you heard it here. Get out here and support this book. I know you might have it all together. I know you guys have it all together, but there might be somebody you know who could benefit from the knowledge that's in these books. And these books are dedicated to young people. However, there are older people who can benefit from it as well. And then you do have a children's book, is that correct?
That's correct. It's I Am Unique, and the focus of that book is about character education.
Wonderful.
And anti-bullying message. And basically, real quick, I Am Unique, it talks about the uniqueness of each individual child, from the eyes to the hair to the nose, everything, the fingerprints, everything that makes that young person unique. And we focus on that. And at the end, we pull it all together and ask the young person what makes them unique. And for the next 14 days, they have to get up every single day and write something unique about them, their own individuality.
That's beautiful. And I think that many times as children, and I know I went through it as well, I didn't want to be different because I felt like I was being singled out. I felt like people were making fun of me for being different, and I didn't learn to appreciate being different. I moved to New Orleans from another country, and so instead of being proud about that, I let kids tease me about it. And so there are going to be kids like that who are not going to feel special because of their differences. They're going to feel singled out. They're going to be ashamed of it. So for you to be able to write a book like this, I wish I had a book like this when I was 7 or 8 years old, because we all have differences, and we need to learn to celebrate those differences and not be ashamed of them.
Yes, I agree with you 100%.
Well, thank you. Okay, so once again, we just finished talking with Terence Pollard. He is a motivational speaker, an Army veteran. He's the author of 3 books. Get out there and support this man. And if you are in the New Orleans area, make sure you go to the Crew of Lit. Tickets are only like $10, I believe. It's not very expensive. You can go there, have a good time, meet some great authors. I want you to go and shake Terence Pollard's hand and let him know where you heard about him, which is Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, in case you forgot which show you're watching with Dr. Rhonda Lawson, in case you forgot who your host is. But I know y'all didn't do that. I just like to mess with y'all. All right, so I want to thank Terence for coming out tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out with us for a bit.
Yes, ma'am. And I look forward to seeing you this weekend and again February 2020.
Yep, February 2020. I'm with you. I'm going to be contacting you. Don't act brand new when I call you now.
Never.
Okay, well, we are going to go ahead and take a quick break. Terence, hang around for a little bit because we're going to try to bring you back in at the end of the show. But when we get back, we are going to talk with another author who's going to be a part of the Crew of Lit. This author is not exactly writing children's books, but I think you're going to find him intriguing. So you guys stay right there. We'll be right back with author Daneal Brown. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, DJ Slick Daddy.
This DJ Slick 504.
And of course, I'm your girl, Black Coco.
Tune into the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, every Tuesday, 7 to 8:30, with all the trending topics.
And you can also check out my mix, DJ Slick Mix Part 1 and 2.
And of course, check out Coco's Sex Tips of the Week.
And hashtag TTBF. That's that bullshit. It's the Live Line, New Orleans Talk Network, Tuesday, 7 to 8:30. We're always live. Let's go.
The year 2019 is going to be an exciting time in the city of New Orleans, and we want you to be a part of it. If you have a book, an event, or a business that you would like to promote right here on Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, contact us at www.mtwimagesolutions.com or info@mtwimagesolutions.com. See you there. New year, new show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there. The year 2019 is going to be an exciting time in the city of New Orleans, and we want you to be a part of it. And we're back. So we were just talking with Terence Pollard, who's an author, motivational speaker, and I really enjoyed looking at some of the comments that take place while we're interviewing. And Tracy Powell just had some great comments, and she made a very poignant statement. She said that sometimes people are stuck and they're afraid to move on. And I really believe that's a powerful note. There are people who get stuck in their situations and they almost get comfortable with their situations. Then they're afraid to move further because they're afraid to take the steps that it takes to get out of that situation. So when we read books like this and we find out that there are other people who have been in our situations and they were able to get out of them, I mean, that serves as motivation. So now we're going to take a quick turn, just a little bit of a turn. We're going to be talking with another author who is expressing himself in a little bit of a different way. Author Daneal Brown, he has a book called The Juice Box, and we don't mean the cute little box with the fruit juice in it. So we're going to talk with him in just a minute. Daneal, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I hear you very well. How you doing tonight?
I'm all right. And yourself?
I'm wonderful. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, man, no problem at all. Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Well, I was just talking a bit about this book that you have coming out, and it's not released yet. It's going to be released this spring, isn't it?
No, ma'am, it dropped last year.
Oh, okay, last year. I saw an
12th.
old post. So the book is out there.
I couldn't hear you.
I said I saw an
Yes,
old
ma'am,
post.
it's out there.
Yeah, the book is out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
All right, so tell us about this book called The Juice Box.
Well, it's the first creation from what I call the mind of Daneal. It's a really good story. It follows a young man named Sean Shepard. Sean is somewhat of a playboy in the town that he's in, and you know, through flashbacks you kind of see some of his playboyish ways. But the beginning of the story starts out with him falling in love with someone that he has never had a conversation with. So it's almost like it's one of those things that's like, you know, it's almost like Superman meeting his kryptonite to a certain degree.
Now, how do we fall in love with someone we've never spoken with?
I know you heard the saying, love at first sight.
Yes.
I mean, I guess you can't say it's love in this situation. It's more of a lust thing. And Sean is a marketing major. Well, he's a marketing guru, and his mind sees things in pictures almost. So he visualizes a lot, and he really saw some things going on with him and this young lady before he ever really had a real conversation with her.
So he connected with her on a spiritual level almost.
Man, I think he had her on another planet or something.
I was trying to clean it up now.
Hey, I kept it clean. I just said another planet.
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, that's about what it was, though. I generally use the terms that she kind of got in his veins almost. I mean, she became part of him really quick, and he couldn't really understand it at first. But once he got to know her and everything, things just kind of fell in line.
So has that ever happened to you in real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this isn't that story, though.
I was just about to ask if this story was about you.
Nah, it's kind of a combination of, like, you know, a couple of people that I know that make this one character, but that's just his characteristics. It's really funny how this story came about. I know sometimes you be on Facebook and you see for authors they have those challenges that kind of like challenge you to start writing and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that's what this started out as. And I used to put it unedited. It was just raw, you know, as it could be on my page. And it was like the first 2 parts had went up. And then people just kept hitting my inbox like, man, what the rest of the story? What the rest of the story? And I just kept doing that for a while. And then it got to a point where I was almost 3 chapters in that I was just writing on Facebook. And some people, you know, God he do things in mysterious ways. He started putting people in my life that started talking to me about how I could turn it into a novel. And then that's when the hard part kind of came. I had to actually like buckle down, sit down, and make what I had already given away on Facebook and turn it into an actual book.
Did you have to change it up a little bit so it sound different from what you had on Facebook?
I tried, but going back to what you said earlier, the spiritual level, it was almost like it kept leading me back to just having it the way it was. So, you know, part of the way that I market it is telling people that you might need an extra pair of panties when you read it.
Oh my! Okay, I'm gonna have to check this thing out.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
why was this the genre that you chose? I know you said that you took a writing challenge, and I'm sure you could have written about anything. Why did you choose this particular subject matter?
It's really crazy how it happened because I was really working on two different books at the same time. This book, Juice Box, and then the second book was called Seeing Past My Block. And going back to what I was saying earlier of how things just moved, I started out with one person that was supposed to be helping me get Seeing Past My Block out there. And things just didn't work out with us, and we, you know, canceled our business, our partnership, however you want to call it. And the next person that I got in line with, shout out to Divine Legacy Publishing, Miss Amanda Chambers, this area was her specialty.
Okay.
She has already written a book in this genre as well. So when we got to talking about the two books that I was working on, this book somehow just kept coming back to the top. It wasn't the book that I was looking to push first, but it just happened.
Mm.
And then I guess you can also look at it from the standpoint with the part that was put out on Facebook, and it was already like, I guess you could say fans. It was already fans there. It was already people that was there waiting for that book, whereas nobody had heard or seen anything about the other book.
Well, were you surprised at the amount of attention that your Facebook posts were getting?
Man, you just don't realize it. Like, you know, you try to take it all in and be humble about everything and not get a big head, but to a certain degree, I got the big head. I was happy. I was excited. I mean, it just, because, you know, to say that you're putting something out to the world is almost like dressing your kid up one day for school and you hope that they don't get picked on when they get there. That's how I felt about this book. It was like my baby. It was like when I put these thoughts out there, I didn't want people to judge me. I wanted people to judge the work.
Yes.
And not look at me differently, you know. So to see that people was very receptive to it, it really, really, like, excited me.
That's awesome. So is that what made you say, okay, you know, I think I need to do something with this?
Well, that and the fact that, like I don't know if I said this or not, but I've always been a writer, one way or another. I mean, in college, I kind of put it to the side for a little bit, and I started rapping more than I was writing. Mm-hmm. But I also did write a lot, and I'm an analytical thinker. Like when I'm watching television or something, I'm always saying in my head, and I would have did this that way, or I would have did this that way. And once I got that energy going and then the positive feedback came back, yes, it did kind of help me go ahead and knock this first project out.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break right there. And when we get back, we're going to talk about your plans for the Crew of Lit. So you stay right there, and you guys stay right there as well. We're just going to take this last break of the hour, and then we're going to come back, finish talking to author Daneal Brown, author of The Juice Box. You're watching Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. This is your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson, and we'll be right back. Rhonda M Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See? The year 2019 is going to be an exciting time in the city of New Orleans, and we want you to be a part of it. If you have a book, an event, or a business that you would like to promote right here on Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, contact us at www.mtwimagesolutions.com or info@mtwimagesolutions.com. See you there. Dr. Rhonda M Lawson. You are watching Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, and we are talking with author Daneal Brown, author of The Juice Box. And this book is about a guy who falls in love with a woman before he ever has a conversation with her. I asked if it was a spiritual level. I think it might have been a lustful level. Is that correct, Daneal?
That is correct.
Yeah, I know you tried to clean it up a little bit, but you can go ahead and be real.
Well, all I can say is that, when I wrote it, I tried to write it in like a first person. I want everybody that reads it to feel like they can put their foot in the shoes of each character that they read about. And like you said, it is there to push and take you there. So let's not even talk about being clean right now because it's all the way dirty.
There's an audience for it. I'm not even going to be mad. All right, now what are you going to do?
Go ahead.
No, what were we about to say?
No, I was just saying that I am learning that. And I mean that this audience doesn't just stop with women. I mean, they have men out there that like to read this, that like to read this type of literature as well. And it was so crazy because in the middle of writing it, I have a homeboy that has done time before. And we were talking about it, and he was like, man, you wouldn't believe this, but this is the type of stuff that people would send us and we would read while we was in prison. So I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. He said, no, man, some of the, who we would think is the hardest people out, this is the type of stuff they read. And I don't know if it's because this is all that gets to them or they really enjoyed it, but going off of what he was telling me was that they really enjoyed it. So when I wrote this, I also wanted to write it from a male's perspective to where a man that picks it up, he doesn't feel like he's reading a girly book.
And I think that's very important because, and you're right, there are a lot of erotica books out there that are written from the women's perspective. So it is sometimes a little bit more refreshing to read erotica written from a male perspective. Eric Jerome Dickey does it very well, where he will write from a male perspective when it comes to erotica. So it's good to see somebody else doing the same thing.
And he was a big influence on one of my college friends when I got ready to start writing. She was like, you really need to get back into reading some of his books because he wrote books that we read in college.
Yes.
And she was telling me, like, a lot, because again, when I was in college, I wrote, but I didn't shared it with many people, and some people that were able to read it, they always either compared it to Zane or Dickie. Those were the two people that people always compared my writings to. And I was scared of that at one point in time because I didn't know how I would stand next to two people that I look at as, two of the greatest writers in their genre.
And here you go. What made you brave enough to say, okay, I'm gonna put it out there? Was it that writing? Was it that writing challenge? Was it the encouragement that you received? What was it that said, okay, it's time to make this an actual book and get it off of Facebook?
It was a mixture of a lot of things. One, a lot of stuff that I was going through in my life at the time. I started looking at ways that I could start making myself be happy again. And one of the things that always did make me happy was writing. So I had came up with this saying that it was time to bet on black. And in parentheses, black, I would always write my name. So basically saying that I'm a bet on myself. For years, I've always reached out and helped so many other people, whether it was rappers, it was poets. I've always been around entertainment. I got friends that wanted to act, and if there was any way that I could help them, I was always helping them. I was always putting 100% behind them. So betting on black, parentheses, Kyle, Daneal Brown, became my thing because it was my turn. It was time for me to do something that I like to do and then start putting those efforts behind myself.
So you mentioned a couple times that you rap. So were you actually in the industry for a bit before you decided to start writing?
I wouldn't say I was actually in the industry so much, but we were around it a lot. When I was younger, we had a manager that was out of New Orleans. We used to record in Ice House Studios, which is a studio I think is still owned by Juvenile on the West Bank.
Okay.
We did some shows opening up for Juvie and stuff like that. This was right around the time that he had left Cash Money the first time.
Okay, so you know a little bit about not just writing for books, but writing songs, writing music as well.
Yes, ma'am. That was a passion of mine, and in college, that's kind of what took over writing the books. I started working on a radio station. If you ever seen my email address, one of them is the Music Man 915. 915 is the call letters from the radio station that I worked at. And, it opened my eyes to music outside of what I was able to listen to, outside of R&B and rap. It opened my eyes to jazz because that was something that they pushed a lot. And it made me start, I guess, becoming a historian, not a historian. I started researching music, and I started looking at music from a whole nother level. And that's what made me take off, I guess you could say, the novel writing hat and put on the rap hat. And my notebooks went from having these stories in them to having stories written in rap.
Okay. So what would you say is the biggest difference that you've seen from your point of view between writing songs, writing music, and writing books?
The biggest thing is when you're rapping, you don't have as much time. I can set you up for something that's going to play out through a whole book, and it might take you an hour or two to get to it. When you're writing a rap, your punchlines got to come every 5 or 6 seconds, or you're not going to keep nobody's interest. So that's the biggest thing is that you got to tell the story a little bit faster in music than you do in a book.
Did that kind of help you a little bit when you were writing your book because you were able to get to not so much the punchline, but you were able to get to that plot line a little bit faster?
It helped out a lot because it's a certain part in the book that Miss Amber Chambers, who I spoke about earlier, who was my editor, she patted me on my back for knowing to see something before I guess like other writers would have saw it. Like there's a part in the book that I wrote. It's about a young lady who is a biochemist, and she also designs clothing. Mm-hmm. And for me to be able to see how important she would be to the story well before we ever got to that part, I think writing raps helped me be able to develop storylines and be able to foresee some things. Because sometimes I wrote parts of the book backwards, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Where I kind of seen how it was going to end before I ever even got there. So just knowing how you have to write a song kind of helped that. Because with a song, like I said, you got to know how it's going to end, but then you got to also know how to get there as quick as possible.
Well, all right. Well, it seems your technique seems to be working out for you.
I like it, but right now, I guess once I put the book out and seeing the real responses that I've been getting from people, I guess you could say the pressure is on now, because part two is supposed to be wrote.
That was going to be my next question, is when is the next book?
It's in my head. I just got to get it out right now.
Get it out of your head.
Basically,
put it on paper.
I know what. I got to get out of my way first.
Yes.
Because I'm so worried about it living up to what the first one did. Because at first, I had all of this already mapped out, but then once this one dropped, I got some feedback. I went back and read it myself. I see things that I can add to it to try to make the next one be just as good or better. And my intention is to try to make it better.
Of course. Always try to be a little bit better than the last work, so that way you don't put yourself inside of a box.
Yes, you know how you hear people always saying with movies, like, nothing is never better than the first one. Mm-hmm.
That's what they say, but don't listen to that.
I don't want to fall into that.
But unfortunately...
Well, no, it's getting better.
It's getting better?
It's getting better. Yeah, okay. It's getting a lot better. I also look at it, too, as that I think I'm also taking time to try to learn more of the business side, how to market myself better and different things of that nature. So, you know, when you go to looking at it from that standpoint, you sometimes have to take off of your writer's hat, and then you got to put a business hat on. Yes. And then I'm just trying to find a way of doing the transitioning well.
Well, it sounds like you're on your way, so I want to congratulate you. But unfortunately, we have reached the end of the show, and we have to end this interview. It went so fast.
I understand. I know.
But
I didn't even get to tell you now.
But you know what? You can tell everybody on Saturday at the Algiers Auditorium at the Crew of Lit, which will take place at noon. There are going to be so many featured authors.
Brown. That's DANEAL Brown.com is my website. You can also find me on Instagram, and you can also find me on Facebook with author Daneal Brown.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know you had to hurry and get home from work, so thank you for rushing home and making us a priority. And we just wish you all the best. Me. Oh, anytime you want to come back, all you have to do is just say the word.
Yeah, we definitely going to need us a little more time, I think.
Yeah, we're going to have to. Okay, so don't forget, everybody, Crew of Lit, Saturday, noon, at the Algiers Auditorium. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, and you can also go to the Crew of Lit website. So make sure you get out there and support this great event. Support these great authors. Congratulations to Janine Clark and Diana W. for putting on a first-rate event. I know this is going to be beautiful. And that is it. That's all we have for tonight. I'm your host. I'm your girl, Dr. Rhonda M Lawson. This is Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. Join us next month because we're going to have a whole new set of authors in the month of April. I'm talking CEOs, I'm talking comedians, I'm talking business people, and of course, authors. So catch us next month and keep an eye on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook and Instagram pages so you can get a scoop on who is coming next month. And if you have not done so, we are trying to move over to YouTube, but we're going to need you to like and subscribe to the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page. So we have a lot going on in this year, and we want you to be a big part of it. But that's all we have for tonight. We will see you next week. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.